First, though, to Forest Gate in East London and the tragic murder of an 18-year-old law student. Almost a year after Sami Sidham was killed, his family are still trying to understand what happened and why.
Sami was a brilliant young man. He was very kind. He always liked to help his family, his friends. We were more than just a father and a son. We were very close, and he was my best friend as well.
"18-year-old Sami Sidham grew up in Forest Gate, East London, with single dad, Samir. He was an ambitious and popular young man who had recently started a law and history degree course at Queen Mary University of London.
Sami got interested in law when he was about 12. He said because he is good at arguing and he wanted to help other people as well. When he was young, we used to go to the park just at the end of the road where he would cycle and we'd play football. He became a West Ham supporter. He was a season ticket holder, and he used to go to all the West Ham games. He was just a brilliant young man. All you would want for your son.
On an April evening last year, Sami had been to watch West Ham play Stoke City at the London Stadium. West Ham had grabbed a last-minute draw, and Sami would have been in good spirits. Sami took a bus home with a friend, getting off alone at Romford Road, at the junction with Woodgrange Road, just half a mile away from his home. But when he got to the end of his road, he decided to take the long way round. Police believe Sami may have seen a fight in Avenue Road between two rival gangs, one in a black Mini and the other in a silver car.
He would have tried to avoid any situation that might have put him in danger.
But when Sami reached the top of his road, a silver car thought to be part of the gang confrontation was making its getaway. Witnesses saw three men jump out of the small silver car and chase Sami down Chestnut Avenue. He was just yards from home, but Sami was unable to escape.
I was just waiting for him, and suddenly I just see through the window the blue lights flashing. I could see paramedics trying to resuscitate someone. I felt something might have happened, so I just walked out through the door, just 10 meters away from home. I looked at the person who they were trying to resuscitate, and it was Sami.
Sami had been stabbed in the back multiple times. He died 45 minutes later, with his father by his side. Police believe Sami had unwittingly stumbled into the middle of a gang conflict. His death, a tragic case of mistaken identity.
Everything we found out so far indicates that Sami was in the wrong place at the wrong time. This was a cowardly attack. Sami was almost home when he died. He was stabbed in the back several times. He had no chance to defend himself. Now's the time to come forward.
It's been almost a year since Sami was killed, but for his father, the memory of that awful night is painfully fresh.
It still feels as if it's happened yesterday. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't miss him. My life has ended. He was my only son, and it's very difficult to move on knowing that the people who did this to Sammy, they are still free and they could do this thing to some other family. He didn't deserve for his life to be taken away. It was taken away for nothing. So please come forward.
Just awful, and I'm joined now by DCI Mark Wrigley from the Metropolitan Police. Mark, this is a really tragic case, particularly because you believe that Sammy was never the intended target.
Absolutely. Sammy was a very popular boy. He'd never been involved in any form of criminality whatsoever.
Remind us of Sammy's movements that night.
So on the 16th of April, Sammy was making his way home, and I believe that he saw an incident taking place under the railway bridge in Avenue Road and attempted to avoid that by taking the long route round.
What do you know about Sammy's attackers?
The individuals involved in this offence arrived in a small silver car. They got out of that vehicle in Avenue Road and attempted to attack the occupants of a black Mini. Following that, they got back into the vehicle, which drove away in Chestnut Avenue, turning left into Capel Road, and this was the first point that they came into contact with Sammy.
Now, there is some CCTV in this case, isn't there? So talk us through it.
The CCTV clearly shows a silver or grey car, I believe to be an Audi A3 Mark I, driving up Chestnut Avenue towards the junction of Capel Road.
And witnesses say they saw 3 individuals?
That's right. So the driver remained in the vehicle. 3 people got out of that car and chased Sammy the short distance down the road to where he was killed.
And you want to trace the weapon that was used too?
That's correct. The weapon hasn't been recovered. It's described as a long, thin-bladed knife.
So what do you need, Mark, from people that are watching today?
Anyone that was in Chestnut Avenue or Avenue Road on the 16th of April that hasn't been in touch with this investigation, I'd like to speak to you today. I would appeal to an individual who contacted Crime Stoppers right at the beginning of this investigation, who provided very, very specific information. I'd like you to get back in touch with us today.
There is a reward on offer too, isn't there?
There is a £20,000 reward for information leading to a successful prosecution in this case.
And Mark, it feels like every few days we're hearing of another fatal stabbing in London. This is happening to young people like Sammy. Clearly, violent crime is a massive issue for the Met Police. Surely more needs to be done to tackle it.
Absolutely. It's a huge problem for us here in London. We do need to do more, and we will do more. We are determined to tackle this issue. This may be a good point to mention fearless.org, which is a website that people can access that gives information on various crimes. It would also include the details of the sentencing you would expect if you're